Hey guys, welcome back to the Catering channel. Today, I want to provide a sample on how I personally build catering quotes. So I'll lead into this that I do have set formulas and price sheets already. If you don't have those in place, backtrack and figure that out. So, meaning you're going to want a set price per item for your menu. This is something you should do in menu design if you're going to have a catering company or a cafe, restaurant, whatever. You want to have your base pricing figured out first, because if you don't, you're going to have inaccurate quotes or messy quotes, or it's going to be stressful, it's going to be everywhere, and you don't want that. Because you will have people that want same day quotes, and the more you can avoid rushing to do that and just say, like, you know what, I bet this is going to take 5 minutes to put together, 5 minutes to review, 5 minutes to adjust if needed, and send off 15 minutes. Amazing. I can do that most of the time. It goes to 20 if I need to research a little bit extra. Like if they request if I can get a certain brand of something, which is why I'm going to do canapes and champagne as a sample today. We have pricing packages. So we do drink packages, meaning soft drinks and water and juice. We have a champagne package, a beer package, a wine package, a Prosecco package, and that goes through most of the remit. Champagne and Prosecco are different because if you watch my wine videos, champagne's only champagne if it's made in the Champagne region of France, whereas Prosecco or champagne style wines are from any other area. Because of that, though, most champagnes can be 2, 3, or more times the cost of a Prosecco, a Moscato, whatever other bubbly wine. So if your client is more price sensitive but wants champagne, that's always something to disclose when sending a quote or on a sales call if you miss it. You can also do what I do, and if they ask for champagne, build one with a champagne quote, but then offer Prosecco as well. Because they can say, you know what? A really good Prosecco is half the price of champagne, and I can take that money and use it for something else for this event. So, our sample event here is going to take place January 7th. There's going to be 30 people. Right? 7th Jan 2024. Not sure. It's going to be between 25 and 50, so I say 30 because we're going to quote them at 30, and we're going to disclose we're quoting at 30. Always reconfirm head counts in your numbers. I would also strongly recommend, if you don't have a software tool to do this, use a spreadsheet because you can input formulas. It's a lifesaver. Now you can see I input the question, meaning, okay, we're going to supply champagne, likely flute rental. If you don't know what a flute is, go back to my Know Your Glasses video to see what a champagne flute is. And then the times. You always want to ask for times. You cannot build an accurate quote without time of arrival and departure and how many staff. Always ask that. If it's time sensitive, they haven't answered, we usually quote for 3 staff for 6 hours. And we disclose that we can adjust it. So let's go through what all these charges will be, right? As you can see, there's some zeros here because I have input formulas. We are going to add in these just in case they're needed, and let's get going. So our charges for this: staff, travel and logistics, event planning, our flat rates. We have flute rental, we have champagne, we have canapes, because they want that. We're going to do crockery rental for plates. And that's going to be that. So again, ask if it's a drop-off or served to get accurate hours. Double check how many people. And then double check if they're firm on champagne or can do a bubbly instead. So for the sake of this video, we're going to stick with champagne. So staffing, you're going to do equals the rate at which you pay your staff by the hours, right? So arrive at 4:30 to set up, 6 o'clock arrival, plenty of time for setup, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 4.5 from there. We're going to quote 6 for cleanup. And we're going to send 3 people. So hourly rate by hours times people. We're going to do a flat rate of $150 for this. Again, for the sake of the speed of the video, and it's mostly what we do. When we calculate travel, it usually goes by distance. 150 is the safe bet because our staff comes in separately, they meet there, meet close by, and get there together. So it does help buffer and cover some of that. Event planning is a flat charge for us. This covers things like me personally in procurement. I'm doing research, I'm doing orders, I'm talking to Axel, who's going to head up the event, be sure everything's coordinated. If we don't have enough staff, I'm going to go find staff. So that covers that. Now, flute rental. You can charge what you want per glass. Be mindful, the industry rate ranges 60 pence to £1.30 per glass. Depends on the brand of glass, how big the glass, all those fun things. Honestly, after one event, you usually have broke even on your buy-in price. So we just do £1 per glass needed, right? Now, if you've seen my other videos, you'll know champagne comes in the same size bottle as a glass of wine, 750 milliliters, which is 5 servings. So if you want a quick bottle, quote, you're going to do 30 divided by 5 people divided by servings per bottle, 6. So champagne is more expensive. We usually quote in at 45 pounds. I always double check my supplier because if they've shifted in price, you need to shift your price. But for the sake of the video, we're going to do 45 pounds by 6, right? Crockery rental is the same rule as flutes, right? Canapes. Depending on the canapes you have on your menu, this is why menu design and pricing is really important. Because what you're going to do, same rules as everything else, you're going to do equals. I'm going to do 30 people, 6 canapes apiece to get total canapes times price per canapé. This is what I'm going to use again for the sake of the video. But as our suppliers change price, it's going to affect our menu a little bit. Seasonal rotations, things are a little different. Speed and based on our current menu though. Here we go. I'd like this to be the same formula, right? So after I have that done, you just add them all up. Equals addition. This is your baseline cost. There is some profit worked into here, i.e., I don't take away 249 pounds from this event. It might not cost this much. We might have a staff member that doesn't get paid this much. It varies. So again, there's some profit worked in. If I'm able to get a champagne on sale, let's say for 38, we have some profit worked in at 7 pounds per bottle. But you need to work it in further, right? We have a 50% markup there, so multiply by 1.5. This is what we do for big companies and corporate. This is why it's important to ask them their budget up front. Because if you get to this and they have a 1,000-pound budget, you're going to have to tell them no. Because just going and dropping off champagne and canapes, no rentals or nothing, is going to be their entire budget. So then you wasted your time building a quote. So for this, if they have the budget, we would quote $26.19 excluding VAT. Always quote excluding VAT because you as a service provider are going to have to pay that. So reality is they will end up paying $3,142.80 because they're going to cover that VAT. We'll have to pay it back in sales, so that covers us. Now, if they come back and say it's too high, always negotiate and readjust. We could go down to $2,500 and still profit just fine. And I want to work you through that. I like maintaining a 70% profit margin after staffing and travel and purchasing costs. So let's work through this again. Okay, we're going to say total paid sub VAT. Let's say they just, for the sake of argument here, they paid this, okay? And we're going to do cost. Actual cost, let's say, was 13 times 6 times 3. Helps if I put the equal sign. Let's say it was pretty close, and this was only 80. All travel. I'm talking going to pick up stuff, talking getting to and from the event. Let's say none here. That we didn't have any cost related to this because we already paid it. Let's say I got champagne for $40 a bottle. And my canapes, we ended up actually costing us, we're going to say $230. We're just going to copy this down and say $230. So then profit is going to equal this minus this minus this minus this minus this, right? Looks pretty good. So then we're also going to see profit margin I just drew a blank there. It's this divided by this. 63% profit. Can you see it as a percent? Ta-da! Not bad. So then next time we'd say, you know what? Next time maybe we should charge a little more for our champagne. So we can increase that. Maybe next time, let's see if we can find some cheaper canapé. Because what if we could save a bit more? Let's say I got it on sale for this, and we were able to bring down total cost by this per canapé. Now it's like 65. It's all about the margins here. You have to remember you need to cover your bases, but then if you're running a catering business out of your cafe or restaurant, that profit should go back into finding more clients and customers and fueling your business to grow. It should cover staffing, and if you have a slow season in your cafe, it helps you make a buffer if you're filing those taxes together. But that is how you build a quick catering quote. And I know we're approaching those 15 minutes, and I have been a bit rambly, so if I haven't been recording, this probably would have taken me 5-10 minutes, like I said at the start. So again, that's how you do a catering quote. It's really just double check anything you're going to bring is accounted for. You have profit built in, and you have a predetermined profit margin you want to keep for each event. So, should you have any questions, need any help, anything, I encourage you to reach out, drop a comment, ask for help, and I'll catch you in the next video.